Hey guys and girls, welcome to another episode of Watching Deer Antlers Grow. And they're obviously not growing as we get into the time of the year. Their antlers are hard and they're big, but they'll be changing some as they fight and carry on. And all we've got left in the pen right now is Whitey. We have not yet got Forrest moved back into the pen, but I'll tell you what, hopefully we're going to show you some videos this week of maybe some deer sparring and fighting a little bit. We'll show you the deer at the house and show you, what they're doing and take a look at them as close as we possibly can. And hopefully we'll get some wild deer in this week too that we can look at. So before we go look at Whitey, and that'll be about the last thing we do today. This video probably won't be very long at all because again, they're not growing. We're just acting, kind of seeing what happens out here this week. But before we do that, let's go to the house, take a look at Forrest, and see what we can ramble up of deer around the house. Might be kind of fun. Then we'll go look at Whitey in the pen. He is beautiful. Golly, he's such a deer. Right there is one of our wild bucks. Now you can see his horns. You can see how big and beautiful he is. He's come in to get a little deer food. He's kind of scratching for what's left over because the yard deer haven't left much. You can see that he's a beautiful, looks like an 8-point. I'm about as zoomed in as far as I can go there. It's kind of hard to hold the camera steady, but we're watching deer antlers grow. We'll watch him right out there. Obviously, he's as big as they're going to get. He's looking around for some does around the house and some free groceries. I doubt that I can get out and get a little bit close to him. I think when I go outside, I'm shooting through the window right now. Imagine when I go outside that deer will run away, but that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Oklahoma buck right there. It's a wild deer. He was one that came in the other day when I was throwing some food out, so it's possible that I could go out and get a little closer to him. I was about 20 or 25 yards from him the other day, which is pretty good. But being out there and having him come up to you is not the same as you walking up to him. Well, you walking up to him is going to be a lot more difficult. But you can see that he looks pretty good, actually. And he's a big, pretty boy for sure. Interested in food right now, but looking for women at the same time. If Forrest were around here, we might see a little bit of an encounter, but Forrest ate this morning and left. We have not been able to get him in a pen, which we may not be able to do very easily. We trying to catch him up there around the pen, but we haven't been able to do that either because we just haven't been able to. So whether we be able to get him in the pen or not, we haven't been able to get any more does in there also. So we've only got like 10 does in there total, I think, 5 in each pen. But that's a pretty boy out there. And nice to look at. Watching deer antlers grow. Watching wild antlers come around the house. We have a bunch of deer in the yard right now. Just a whole bunch of them. It's a cold day out here today. Rain in the area. We've gotten a lot of deer. And this is a wild buck right there. That's a wild buck. I've got video of him and Forrest sparring for quite a while. You can see how big and beautiful he is. I was calling him an 8-point, but he's got a brow tine broke off. I don't know if Forrest broke that brow tine off, but look how big and square he is, how flat his back is. He is a 2.5-year-old deer, perhaps even 3.5. A big body deer, very beautiful. And I walked out here in the yard. Now, he came up the other day. I don't know if he came up or not. I don't think he did. This might be the first time I've seen this deer. He's looking back there at Forrest. Forrest is probably thinking I whipped him, but you can look how big he is. He's really, he might be a 3.5-year-old deer. Just a beauty. And Forrest is only 1.5 years old, so here's Forrest back here. They have been sparring. If you probably have a little bit of the sparring video on the Antlers video, if you watch that on Thursday night, you can see quite a bit of that. They've sparred for a long, long time. We've got a lot of deer out here in the yard. The whole front yard is full. That big buck is kind of wild, but with me talking, he's very nervous with me up here. He's not very wild. He's within bow range right there, but I'm definitely not going to shoot him. Forrest, he's Oh, that little buck there says, I am not going to mess around with you, big boy. I am not going to mess around with you at all. That's my unicorn. I guess we have to name him a unicorn. Forrest, he's thinking, he's proud, he's big. He's thinking, I was running that deer off. He turned and ran from me. When he actually didn't do that, he ran from me. Now, they may get back in there and spar again. I don't really know. But they're probably going to do some of that to establish which one of those bucks are the dominant buck. It's obviously going to be the one with the most weight, which is the big wild buck out there. But that's pretty cool right there to have a big wild buck that stays around. Even with me out here talking, he's comfortable enough that that he's not running off. And Forrest is going to go back out there and probably challenge him just a little bit more. You can see Forrest coming into the picture. That's pretty cool. Very, very cool, as a matter of fact. That's a pretty deer. Look at that deer, the water behind him where you can see those antlers really good. He's a big, pretty boy, that's for sure. And when Forrest gets there, Forrest is still wanting to tangle. You see he's following him around there. Forrest might be thinking he's winning and the deer's running away from him. And the deer is not running away from him at all. He's just kind of nervous about me being out here, I believe. But that is, what can I say? Very, very cool. I wonder if when I get my new iPhone, and you got it in one of those stabilizer deals. Here we go. You got one of those stabilizer deals. If I can have it zoomed out at the maximum zoom, and it'll still hold steady. Probably will. You see him running around, moving and taking movies, and everything's nice and still. So I ought to be able to put it in one of those contraptions and make that work. You'd think a guy that's been doing television for 45 years would know more about that, but I've left all that up to Pat Turner. Pat knows all about that. All I know about, ooh, that's a pretty good fight right there. All I know about is getting out there and catching fish and having fun. That's my part of the game. Pat's part of the game is to keep the camera steady and do all of that. That's pretty nice there, you know. Whitey would beat both of those up at the same time. Forrest went out there and challenged that big buck again. Big 7-point is really what he is because he's got a brow tine broken off. Yeah, he's walking away, and Forrest is saying, ha, 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 I'm coming after you. That was a pretty nice little spar right there. Forrest, you the winner, man. You the winner. You are a winner, Forrest, my boy. I'll just start out by taking a look at Whitey here through the fence a little bit. You can see on the outside is some does and babies that we turn loose. We really have not got any does back in here with Whitey. He's only got 5 in here with him. We got 5 in the other pen that do not have a buck with them because we are wanting to put Forrest over there. But so far we haven't been able to do that. So far there's a doe right there. A couple of them back there you can see. I guess I can see all of them just about. There's 5 in this pen over here. But you can see Whitey there is just enjoying himself. He's obviously the king of the roost. He has nobody to worry about. He just got himself in there. And he just looks beautiful. I mean, he's just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what I can say. He's got all he can eat. He's got 5 girls in there. And I'm wanting to get some more in there, but we really haven't been able to open these gates up because of all the babies hanging around. We was hoping some of these babies would move around. I did see 3 or 4 babies in the yard this morning. You see him stick his nose up there? That's what we want to see. That little girl right there is probably getting about ready, and that's what he's over here for. And so I may be better off not even getting in there with him. We're getting really good looks at him anyway, so he's just about as beautiful as they come. And that doe must be getting in heat. And this is the problem we got with those other does. I don't know, I might ought to just open things up and let those other does or put them all over in one side or something. And you look at him right there. Look at him. Look at him. He is just, he's showing off. Sticking that nose up in the air, smelling the air, showing off. Oh my goodness. Whitey, you are something. Because we do have 10 does in here, and I might be better off just Opening that back gate where he's got all of the does in there that he can breed any of them that come in, because obviously this doe over here, looky there, see what he's doing? He's making a scrape on the ground. That is spectacular to be able to see that right there. And he's going to pee down his legs. That's what he does. He put those on there and pee down his legs. He's making a scrape on the ground, marking his territory. It's just a natural thing for the bucks to do, even though he's in a pen. I mean, the whole territory is his. They can't get away from him. But he did that scrape on the ground there. He's up there, you know, sticking his nose up in the air. And now he's going to walk back. He might go back into that back pen, but I think he'll probably stay up here. I think I'm wrong. He's going to go on into that back pen and walk on back there. And there's probably some does on the other side that are getting a little bit into season 2. So there he went on the other side. As I walk back here to the back part of the pen, Whitey's pen, I'm noticing he's paying a lot of attention to deer on the other side. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open. Here's the split ear, my buddy split ear right there. She come up here. I keep forgetting to bring you carrots and stuff, split ear. But there's obviously, he's really paying a lot of attention to that doe. She's just standing right there. Look at him sticking his nose through there. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to open this gate right here where split ear is, right here. I'm going to open that gate right there where split ear is. I'm going to open that gate and give him access to the deer in that pen also. So he's going to have access to all 10 does that we have. We have 5 on this side, and I'm also going to leave that open over there, and I know we're going to get some of those babies go back in there, but they can go back in there and eat if they want, because we have a demand feeder in there. They can go back in there and eat, but you can see what he's doing there. He's sticking his nose through there, and he's really interested in that other side. So I'm going to open it. So if there are 4 pens, Whitey is going to have 3 of them. He's going to have 10 does right now, because these does, some of them are coming in early, and they'll come in more than once if they don't get bred, you know. But look at him right there. Look at him. He's fooling around there, and he's really kind of flirting with that doe. So I'm going to let him into that doe so he can get to her. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What a flirt. What a flirt. Yeah, baby, you could flirt like that when he's on the other side of the fence. Let's see how you act when I open your door where he can walk right into your bedroom. Yes, he can. Whitey is so spectacular. I mean, he deserves a lot of does. He's, you know, he got so sick when I first, look at him, look at him, look at him, look at him, look at him. I bet you when I open this gate, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to open the gate right now. All right, we're going to go ahead and open this gate right here. Now, it won't open all the way, but it'll open part way. I'll open it up here part way. It'll go back all the way, but if it goes back all the way, then it'll block them into that bottom pen. So I'm going to open it like that and just leave it. And we'll watch it every day and make sure with the wind blowing around it could blow shut. But now Whitey will have total access. Zoom back in on that big boy. Whitey will now have total access to all 10 does that are in here. 5 in each side, I think is what it is, if I'm figuring right. We got 5 in each side. So Whitey will have access to everybody, all 10 does, so he can really have he can just have him a rip-roaring good time, as they say. And that doe on the other side might be coming in. The does do not come into heat all at the same time. So we have a doe over here that's probably getting pretty close. I'm going to also open that first pen up there. It'll be the only pen that the deer are locked out of, and see if we can't maybe get another doe or 2, because I'd sure like to have 20 does bred by Whitey and or Forrest. So we'll see what's going to go on here. But as of right now, I've got this open, so the does that are down here in this pen over here, Whitey can go down there. He can traverse anywhere he wants, and he has 10 does in here. And a couple of these does that are in here had triplets, so we've got a good chance of having you know, probably 18 or 20 babies just out of these 10 does, which is probably be plenty, but I'd like to get some more does in here, and I'm definitely going to try to do that. Of course, now Forrest on the outside, he's doing his work outside too, so it probably wouldn't hurt to leave him out there, except I just think he could be dangerous to us, to myself, maybe Chris, and also dangerous to himself because he's just not going to be too cautious about what's going on. So that's exactly what we're going to do, and we'll see how that works. Will you look at this? Will you look at this? I got ready to leave, and I turned around and looked, and he is already down here in the bottom pen. And he's down here on the bottom pen fighting a tree. See that? See him fighting that tree? He's down there showing off for the girls in this bottom pen. So he is probably going to, he might breed, he might breed all 10 of these down here, 5 and 5. He's got, or now really, he's got 10 girls with him is what he's got. So we'll see what happens with, but he's fighting that tree is exactly what he's doing. I don't know if you can hear it as far away as he is, but he's making quite a bit of noise. He's paying absolutely no attention to me. And the girls are eyeing him big time. He's getting everything rubbed off those horns, fighting that tree. Of course, the tree can't whip him, so he's not too worried about that. But now he's got a pretty big domain. He's got a pretty good size area in there. The three of the four is his. He's in here with Split Ear now. Split Ear is probably saying, "Oh my, he's a handsome boy." Look at him fighting that tree. He's tearing that tree all to pieces. Look at that. He's going crazy on it. I mean, he's going crazy on it. Whitey, Whitey, Whitey. He's definitely feeling good, I can promise you that. He is definitely feeling great. The cool weather, they love the cool weather. We've had the rain, I think they've liked the rain. It didn't take him long to find a door open to this pen. And he got over in here, and he's got some girls over in here. Got girls on the other side. So any girl gets ready to accept him, he'll be there to do his duty. Man's got to do what a man's got to do. Okay, that'll wrap it up for this week's Watching Antlers Grow. Obviously, we're not watching them grow right now. We're just watching and seeing what happens, what we see. We actually saw some pretty interesting stuff. And opening those pens up, we'll see what happens there, you know. Everything's kind of a moving target. And keep in mind that we are raising these deers just to improve the genetics here on Twin Eagle Ranch. We're not selling any deer. We're spending all this time and effort and money and heartbreak, because there's a lot of heartbreak been involved in it also, and heartbreak just to improve the genetics. You know, it's conservation. We're trying to improve the genetics, so we've got bigger deer, larger deer, and deer, of course, with a lot bigger antlers. And Whitey was born right here. This is his second horn, so he's 2.5 years old is what he is right now. He's a big, beautiful specimen. It's just a shame that we lost his brother Bazooka, because he was a big, beautiful deer also. But it is very, very difficult to keep him alive. But if he can live through the rut, which is going to happen, you know, right now, up through the next 60 or 70 or 80 days, and breed. Hopefully, he'll be able to breed at least 10 does. But he's got 3 of the 4 sections of pen that we have. He's got 3 of them now. He's got 10 girls in there. Whoa, there you guys are saying, wow. I hope he's got a lot of stamina, and I hope he does. So some of these deer will be coming in early, and when they do, hopefully that he'll get them bred, and hopefully he'll bred them, and they'll have two little baby fawns, and we're going to leave that other outside pen open and let some deer go in. And I know a lot of those babies are going to go back in there. We've got a demand feeder in there, and there was also some nice grass growing in there that we planted. Since there's no deer in there, we got a little rain, the grass is growing up. So those deer will go in, and we hope to trap a few more does in there, and hopefully I'll get forest up here where I can maybe trick him into that pen and get maybe 8 or 10 does in there with him also. It may be a lot easier said than done getting those does in. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great week this week. Remember, we got some fun stuff on tomorrow night's Lucy's Herd video also. We don't have Lucy, but we have Lucy's Herd, and so be tuning in for that tomorrow night. Share this with as many people you have. You know, we've kind of got stagnant as a number of growers. I looked at it the other day, and we're kind of hanging right in there at about 110,000 subscribers. So I don't know. I think that maybe they're not putting us on too many places, and we're not growing very rapidly. But I know one thing. We've got really, really, really good subscribers on our channel. And remember, I sure do love you.